What if the boy everyone overlooked became the man the entire world admired? What if the child who was told his body wasn't growing properly became the greatest footballer of his generation? This is the story of Lionel Messi. A story that proves your biggest weakness can become your greatest strength. Lionel Messi was born on June 24, 1987, in Rosario, Argentina. He wasn't born into wealth, fame, or privilege. His father worked long hours in a factory, and his mother worked in a workshop. Life was simple. There were no luxury cars, no giant houses, and certainly no signs that this small boy would one day become one of the most famous people on earth. But there was one thing that made him different. He loved football. While other children played games, Messi lived football. Every free moment, every empty street, every dusty field became his playground. The ball seemed glued to his feet. Coaches noticed his talent almost immediately. Even among older children, he could do things nobody else could. It looked like the beginning of a beautiful dream. Then life hit him with a challenge he never saw coming. At just 10 years old, Messi was diagnosed with growth hormone deficiency. His body wasn't growing normally. The treatment required expensive injections every month, far more than his family could afford. Imagine being a child with a dream so big, yet hearing that your own body might stop you from reaching it. Many people would have accepted defeat. Many people would have blamed their circumstances. Many people would have quit. Messi did none of those things. Instead, he kept showing up. He kept training. He kept believing. Because deep down, he knew something most people never understand. Your circumstances don't decide your future. Your response to them does. As the bills piled up and hope seemed to fade, an opportunity appeared from thousands of miles away. A trial in Spain with Barcelona. It was a chance so unlikely that most people would have called it impossible. But sometimes, impossible is just an opportunity waiting for courage. At 13 years old, Messi traveled to Spain. The coaches watched him train. Within minutes, they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The smallest player on the field was the best player on the field. He didn't overpower opponents. He outsmarted them. He didn't rely on strength. He relied on skill. Barcelona immediately knew they were looking at someone special. The club offered him a contract and agreed to pay for his medical treatment. That moment changed his life forever. But success came with a price. At 13 years old, Messi left his home. He left friends. He left family. He left everything familiar. Most people only see the trophies. They don't see the lonely nights. They don't see the homesickness. They don't see the sacrifices. While other teenagers enjoyed normal childhoods, Messi was carrying the weight of a dream on his shoulders. Every day he had a choice. Feel sorry for himself, or keep moving forward. Every day he chose the second option. Years passed. Training sessions became months. Months became years. And slowly, the boy from Rosario became one of Barcelona's brightest young stars. Then came the moment that changed everything. At 17 years old, Messi made his professional debut. The world barely noticed. But legends rarely announce their arrival. They simply get to work. Season after season, Messi improved. He became faster, smarter, more dangerous. Soon, he wasn't just another player. He was becoming the player everyone feared. Defenders tried stopping him. Coaches built entire strategies around him. Fans filled stadiums just to watch him play. Then came the turning point. The moment when talent transformed into greatness. Barcelona handed him responsibility. The pressure increased. The expectations grew. The football world wanted to know whether this young player could handle being the face of one of the biggest clubs on earth. Messi answered in the only way he knew how, by becoming unstoppable. Goals poured in. Records started falling. Trophies arrived year after year. Champions League titles, Ballon d'Or trophies. The world watched in amazement. Millions of children dreamed of becoming him. Millions of adults wished they had his talent. It seemed like he had everything. But there was one dream still missing. One mountain he hadn't climbed. One battle he couldn't win. Argentina. Every time he wore his country's jersey, the pressure doubled. People compared him to Diego Maradona. People expected miracles. People demanded perfection. And despite all his brilliance, heartbreak followed him. Argentina lost final after final. The 2007 Copa America. The 2014 World Cup. The 2015 Copa America. The 2016 Copa America. Each defeat felt heavier than the last. Each failure created more criticism. The world that once praised him now questioned him. And eventually, the pressure became unbearable. After another painful defeat, Messi retired from international football. For the first time in his life, he wanted to walk away. The dream seemed finished. The critics believed they had won. But this is where champions separate themselves from everyone else. Because champions don't stay down. Champions get back up. Messi returned. Not because it was easy. Not because success was guaranteed. But because he refused to let failure write the ending of his story. Years later, that decision changed everything. In 2021, Argentina won the Copa America. After years of pain, Messi finally lifted a major trophy for his country. The tears on his face told the whole story. The struggle, the criticism, the sacrifices, the waiting. Everything had finally been worth it. Most people would have been satisfied. Most people would have stopped there. Messi wasn't finished. One dream remained. The World Cup. In 2022, at 35 years old, many believed his last chance had arrived. The tournament started badly. Doubts returned. Critics returned. Questions returned. But so did Messi. Game after game, he carried Argentina forward. When pressure increased, he became stronger. When expectations rose, he rose higher. When his country needed a leader, he became one. Then came the World Cup final, the biggest match of his life, the biggest moment of his career, the biggest test of his journey. And when the final whistle blew, Lionel Messi stood on top of the football world champion. After all the setbacks, after all the criticism, after all the failures, after all the sacrifices, the little boy who once couldn't afford treatment for a medical condition had conquered the world. And that's why Lionel Messi's story is bigger than football. Because every person watching has their own struggle. Maybe people doubt you. Maybe your circumstances aren't perfect. Maybe success feels far away. Maybe you failed before. So did Messi. The difference is that he kept going. When life said no, he kept going. When people doubted him, he kept going. When failure broke his heart, he kept going. Because the people who achieve greatness are not always the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to stop. And somewhere between where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow, there will be moments when quitting feels easier. Remember Messi. Remember the boy who was told he was too small. Remember the teenager who left everything behind. Remember the man who failed again and again before lifting the World Cup. And remind yourself of one simple truth. Your dream doesn't belong to the people who doubt you. It belongs to you. So keep working, keep believing, keep moving forward. Because one day, the struggle that makes you question everything may become the very reason the world remembers your name.